Good afternoon, it is Friday the 4th of July, it's just coming up to 4 PM and I'm about to go out and do some Ubering. So yeah, I've been quite busy since, when was the last on Uber? I think it was like Wednesday or something. Just the usual, just been doing private jobs. I've been doing more private jobs today. And then I thought, well, I might as well stay out for a couple of hours, jump on Uber and see what it's like. As you know, if you watch any of me other videos, it always dies on a Friday at about 8 o'clock, so I'm only expecting to be out for like 4, maybe 5 hours. But yeah, you know, if it's busy, I'll stay out, but it won't be. So yeah, I'll give you an update in a bit. So it's about 20 past 7 and I've give up and come home. I just couldn't be faffed. I'll explain in a minute. So yeah, before I started, I didn't actually leave until about 4:15. First job that came up, where was we? It was a base going to Ormskirk, 12.91, 10-minute job. Going 2.8 miles, and that was a surge, so it wasn't too bad to get me going. And then after that, I was in Ormskirk, and Ormskirk was just an absolute and utter standstill. There's all sorts of road works going on at the moment, and they've reduced the ring road into a single lane, and honestly it's chaos. Avoid it like the plague. So I got this little £7.68. That was a 6-minute job going 2 miles. I then accepted a job which was, I think it was like £35 from Ormskirk to Wigan. So he kept offering me job after job after job after job to Wigan, and I just didn't want to go to Wigan. So I don't know if there was like an event or something going on. So I accepted this job because it was 35 quid and it was going to take me about 30, maybe 40 minutes. So I thought, it's not too bad of a rate and I might get something coming back. And then I was just about to get there and then they cancelled. So I got £5 for it. Where was we? I then accepted a job for which was Ormskirk going to Skem. That was £8.29. That was a 12-minute job going 6 miles. So that took me to about 5:15. So that first hour wasn't too bad. It was like 17.89. That was like 20, 25. It's about £28 for the first hour. And then I was in Skem. I accepted that other job which took me to Skem because I was in Ormskirk and all the jobs that were coming up were Skem. And now Skem's probably like 4 or 5 miles away. And the jobs that were coming up were saying, do you want this job all the way over here? It's in Skem. Do you want this one? It's in Skem. And I'm like, no. Do you want this one? It's in Skem. No. Do you want this one? And then Uber do this thing, which is like a real childish thing, where they then say, okay, you've now been logged off. It's like they spit the dummy out. And then you have to lean forward and press go back online. And it's as though it's trying to like psychologically train your mind into, you will do what we say. Because then it comes back up again saying almost like, okay, let's try again. Do you want this job all the way over here in Skem? And you're like, no. Like, they're offering me jobs in Skem. It's like £6.70, I think it was. It was a half-an-hour job, multi-stop. And you're like, who in the right mind's going to do that? Let alone you have to run all the way to Skem for it. The jobs just kept coming up like that. They were just really shite, and they were over in Skem. So I was like, no, I'm not doing it, not doing it, not doing it, not doing it, not doing it. And it goes, right, we've logged you off again. And you're like, fucking hell, stop being childish. And then you have to log back on again. So I accepted that job, which was an Ormskirk to Skem. So I thought, well, it must be busy over there because every job it's offering me is in Skem. So I dropped off in Skem, parked up, and then it goes, right, do you want this job? It's over here in Ormskirk. And you're thinking, are you taking the piss? And you're like, no, I'm in Skem now give me a job in Skem. And it goes, do you want this job over in Ormskirk? No. Do you want this one in Ormskirk? No. How about this one? No. How about this one? No. Okay, we've logged you off because you're not accepting these shit jobs. And you're thinking, this is just, honestly, it was starting to like, it was comical, but it was like winding me up at the same time. So you log back on and then it's going, do you want this little crap job in Ormskirk? No. Do you want this little crap job? And it just kept doing it and doing it. So in the end, my acceptance rating dropped from, when I started my shift, it was on 32%. It's now on 9%. because I just refused. It was almost like Uber's kind of cottoned onto I cherry pick, and it's basically saying, right, we need to make Paul run for these jobs, and that way we'll keep him in that £20 an hour bracket, because if he runs all the way over here for this little crappy £6 job, and then we'll have him run all the way back to Skem for another like £6 or £7 job, he'll be on about £20 an hour. So basically I'm not playing that game with them. So I logged off, drove back to Ormskirk because the bleeping was doing me head in. Logged back on, and then it gave me a little Ormskirk to Ormskirk. Apparently a surge, £7.83, 6-minute job going 1.9 miles. And I thought, right, I want to get out of Ormskirk. I was just waiting for anything to come up because of the traffic. And then an Ormskirk to Southport came up. Apparently that was a surge as well. And it was a priority. £15.83, a 17-minute job going 7.8 miles. So I thought, happy days, it gets me out of Ormskirk. So dropped them off, and then that was pretty much that hour. So in that hour I done £22 or 23. And then I got into Southport, and then I was offered a job Southport to Kirby, which it was £18.90 for a 32-minute job. So I thought, well, it's not too bad because it's nearly 20 quid and it's going to take half an hour to do. And if you know Southport to Kirby, it's basically you're just running all the way down the Formby bypass, straight onto the 57, and then you're into Kirby, and that was it. So it's all kind of like motorway, you know, straight line, no start stopping. So I accepted that, and I thought it's not too bad. You know, I'm kind of like in Kirby there, so it's kind of going to cover, you know, all like Knowsley, you know, St Helens. It gives you quite a few options from there. So I dropped them off. So that was £18.90, and then it gave me a little job round the corner, which was taking me to Prescott, which again wasn't too bad. It was a surge job, £9.31, 12-minute job going 7 miles, and again that was basically just straight onto the motorway, straight down, come off into Prescott. So nice easy job. So I took that, and then the last job I took was a little Prescott to Prescott, obviously because I'd just dropped off. It was the same restaurant I was dropping this girl off to, and that was a priority, £5.90, 4-minute job going 1.1 miles. So in that last hour I done like 28, I done about 33, 34 pounds, something like that. And then I was in Prescott, and I was driving from Prescott. I thought I'll head towards, like, instead of just jumping on the motorway where you're less likely to get like jobs, I'll cut through like St Helens and then head towards Ormskirk that way. So I'm heading through, and all the jobs that were coming up, it was winding me up. It was like, do you want this job? It's like a mile away going to Liverpool city centre at tenner, and it's like Uber saying it's a half an hour job, which means it's going to be 35 to 40 minutes, and I'm thinking, who's going to run all the way to the city centre for a tenner? So you'd ignore it. Another one comes up, another city centre, £11. No, I don't want that. How about this one? £10.50. No. How about this one? £12. No, I don't want it. How about this one to the city centre? No, I don't want it. There should be an option to say, I don't want to fucking go to the city centre. And then it comes up, spits its dummy out and says, right, we've logged you off again. And it's like, oh, honestly, it's painful. And it's like, it makes it even more painful for me because it's been quite a busy night for me tonight with bookings coming through, because it pings up when someone's paid me for a private booking. I think about 6 jobs have come through for the next week, and you know, it's totaling like, I think it's just over £1,400. So I'm sitting there looking at all these jobs coming through. It's pinging up, which are paying me anywhere between like £40 to £60 an hour, and that includes me after I've dropped them off for me to get home. So like really good, and I'm really struggling to stay out and do Uber because it's just so crap. And it's just like, it was like the app was annoying me. Like, you're supposed to come out and it's supposed to be like, they say it's like a skill-less job, you know. It's just supposed to be nice and easy. A job comes through, you know, you just pick someone up and drop them off. How hard can it be? And that's the easy bit. The hard bit is Uber wrecking your head, just giving you crap job after crap job, and then spitting dummy out like a child because you don't want to accept these crap jobs. It should come up and say, for a bit of feedback, can you just, you know, type in this little box and tell us why you're not accepting these jobs, because then as drivers we could say because the jobs are shite, and then hopefully they might get the message. But it's not. They just log you off as though like, let's train this driver into accepting jobs, otherwise we're going to log them off. And honestly, it was just so painful. So in the end I thought, you know, I've earned more on my private jobs that have come through from what Uber's going to pay me in about 2 weeks. And that's just like 6 little jobs. And I was like, so I logged off and come home. I honestly just could not be arsed. It was doing me head in so much. All the jobs that were coming through were crap anyway. I've had to massively cherry pick, so much so it's logged me off probably 6-7 times in the shift, and I've only done 3 hours and it's logged me off that much. So yeah, so like I said, I've done 3 hours and I finished on £91.65. So I still managed to keep to me over £30 an hour. But if I wouldn't have been cherry picking and doing what I was doing and going with the flow and just doing what Uber wanted me to do, honestly, I reckon I would have been on £15 an hour, if I would have been lucky. And it would have had me run ragged. You know, it would have had me running to the city centre. And it was like when I done that head-to-head challenge with driver Denny the other week, and he was doing the donkey work and he was just accepting it and running here, there and everywhere. I couldn't think of doing it. It'd be unbearable. Whereas it's equally as unbearable having to cherry pick, because honestly it wrecks your head. Like, my head now is battered. I've been out for 3 hours doing Uber, and I'm thinking like, Jesus Christ, I need a break. And it shouldn't be like that, you know what I mean? But like I said, I've put myself through that to ensure that I still hit £30 an hour, because working on Uber for less than £30 an hour, to me anyway, I think is pointless. Like, I just don't see how you can make like a massive living, like maybe over £20 an hour on a weekday in the dead hours, because you haven't got much choice. But Friday and Saturday, if you're working for less than £30 an hour, then, you know, so be it. You know, it's your choice, but I couldn't do that. I couldn't bring myself to do it. So yeah, that's about it. I've come home purely because the app was doing me head in, and that's it. I thought I can quite happily stay out until, you know, as you've seen, I do 14, 15 hour shifts. It doesn't bother me, the hours. But if I'm being offered crap jobs and I'm having to battle with the app, it's like, I can't be bothered. I honestly would rather come home. I'm going to go in now, put my feet up and watch telly. I would rather do that than put up with the Uber app. So yeah, let's see what happens tomorrow anyway. I'm going to be out. Let me just double check. Yeah, I should be okay. I've got a private first thing in the morning. That's one of them jobs that come through before. So I'll sort that, and then I'm going to try and get out on Uber between 11 and 12 and see what happens. Yeah, so hopefully Uber's improved by tomorrow. So I'll catch you tomorrow.